ask Barrister Muhammad Daee Abubakar of At-tatbiq Chambers to explain to us whether it is necessary or why it became necessary for he and his colleagues to form this new Nigeria Bar Association. So, Muhammad, you are welcome to take the floor.
Thank you very much. Good evening, all. Good evening to my most seniors, and good evening to my colleagues. Most obliged to be part of this very meeting. As I've earlier been introduced, Muhammad Daee Abubakar from At-tatbiq Chambers. Now, with respect to the question raised, why the creation of new nNBA? Over time, we do know, if you are within the caucus that is the nNBA, we do know that we've been having crisis. The nNBA before now devised a means to resolve those crises. And we'll be having issues, several ones, with respect to the manning of the association. And very well conversant that the previous leadership, that is over the time, they've been trying to reunite, and unite the members of the nNBA. That doesn't mean that in an association, you'll be free from issues. The ability to settle such issue is what gives birth to humanity and equity, fairness in such association. But to us, we felt that nNBA as an association is too big. It's becoming larger for one body to manage and control. We felt that the nNBA is too small now to manage the members that key into the nNBA. Coupled with the issues that we have in mind, and coupled with what has been happening prior to the election, after the election, before the conference, and after the conference. As a result of that, we felt that a new nNBA, where the interest of the members will be catered for, should emerge. A new nNBA, where the rule of law will be the first origo of the affairs. A new nNBA that will foster fairness, equity, and justice among members. So as a result of all these mentioned above, we felt that the nNBA is no longer up to the task of catering for the populace. So that gave us the insight to form a new nNBA, which is the nNBA.
Okay, all right. Let me ask this question, Mr. Abubakar, please, if you don't mind. There have been insinuation that the reason behind the formation of this new Nigeria Bar Association faction was because Governor Nasir El-Rufai was disinvited to speak at the nNBA conference this last month. How far is that the situation? Was that true?
We totally debunk that very insinuation. In fact, it is able provoking for one to completely say that because of what happened with respect to the invitation and subsequent this invitation of El-Rufai that prompted this very move. We cannot just rely And one out of many things that has been happening in NBA, we decide to pull out and form a new NBA. What has happened with His Excellency, the Governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, could happen to anybody. As such, we are humans. We are able to curtail, we are able to manage it. And as such, the neck, deep it fits to screen Malam Nasir El-Rufai not wanting or not fitting to be in the conference to address them. Therefore, their decision is absolutely correct. Their decision is final, and their decision is very okay within their fault. So we are not objecting that, and we are not saying because of that we are forming new NBA. Please, if you go back to the history of NBA, you discover, as I've earlier mentioned before, we've had crises before now, internal crises, and internal mechanisms were deployed to tackle those crises. And as I've earlier mentioned before, the ability for you to manage the populace that are under you is what makes you human. Therefore, it is very, very far from, because of the disinvitation of El-Rufai, that the new NBA is emerging. That is not true. And we totally debunk that, and we totally reject it.
Okay, another question I will ask is, this new NBA, is it restricted to a region of the country, or is it open? Who the initiators of this new NBA, are they from the entire country, or are they from a particular region?
The initiator of the NBA, which I'm one of them, we are spread across the nation. So it is wrong for one to say that one particular region is coming up to form what we call nNBA. Let me give you a clear instance of what I'm saying here. Myself talking, I'm from Edo State. The second convener is from Southern Kaduna. Therefore, it will be very, very wrong for one to think or to say, to feel that it is a regional creation that is giving birth to the nNBA. We are spread across the federation.
Okay, we thank you very much. Barrister Daee Abubakar. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Very correct. You are trying. Thank you.
Okay, Daee Abubakar. All right. Barrister Isaac Ogbah, you have heard what our learned friend have just said. What do you think about the formation of this new Nigeria Bar Association? Do you support it, or are you against it?
Okay, let's get one thing basic from the onset. We have freedom of association. So whether Abubakar likes it or not, or any other person, they can go and form any association, whatever name they want to call themselves. They have the right. Just like as we have the NBA. Even within the NBA, we have the Ogbah and Murphy block. We have the Midwest Bar Forum. The same way we have the Arewa Lawyers Forum. The same way we have Eastern Bar Forum. We even have the Christian, we have the Mulan also. But despite whatever nomenclature they call themselves, they are still under the NBA. So if you want to call yourself nNBA, just the same way they went and had a faction of NPDP, you are free to form whatever you want to form. But legally speaking, nNBA cannot be a replacement of NBA. Mr. Abubakar is being economical with the truth. I must say it with all clarity. One, they have had several press statements released by them regarding why they are forming this new NBA. Unfortunately, he is denying that the reason behind their forming this new NBA is not because of the El-Rufai being disinvited. We have several press statements stating that fact as being one of the reasons. They even wrote a letter to the Attorney General, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, stating their grievances also. They even claim that there are cabals. But come on, cabals. But unfortunately, they have not been bold enough to name this so-called cabal. The reason why I would say with all sense of humility that this nNBA is illegal is saying that it cannot replace NBA. I will give 2-3 reasons for it. First and foremost, under the rules of professional conduct, which is applicable to all legal practitioners, there are several places in that enactment that shows the roles that NBA play in the regulation of lawyers. First and foremost, if you permit me, I will read Rule 10 of ROPC. Rule 10 of the ROPC says, a lawyer acting in his capacity as a legal practitioner, legal officer, or advisor of any government department, ministry, or any corporation shall not sign or file a legal document unless there is affixed on any such document a seal and stamp approved by the Nigeria Bar Association. Take note, by the Nigeria Bar Association. So if you want to argue that NBA is just a registered corporation trustee, come on, without pages to those registration issues, but there are several laws enactments that recognizes NBA as the regulatory body of lawyers. Take note. So if you don't have a stamp and seal of NBA, you cannot practice law in this country. So I will ask Abubakar, the stamp and seal you use in practicing law today, who issued it to you? So if you want to leave NBA as a body, you are free to, but drop your stamp and seal. And without that stamp and seal, you can't frank any document. You can't file any process. You can't stand as a lawyer. And if you are adapting me, you may go ahead and check the Supreme Court judgment in the case of Iyaki versus Bagudu, which is also reported in Erudite Journal of Supreme Court also. Well. It tells you the implication of not having your stamp and seal in your process. Several other decisions from the Supreme Court has also affirmed the issue of stamp and seal and its legality. So if you don't want to belong to NBA, drop your stamp and seal. Who issues stamp and seal is NBA. And without NBA, you will not have it. And let's now see how your new NBA, that doesn't have any legal status, that is not recognized by the NJC, not recognized by the ROPC, not recognized by anybody, will give you time part of it. Also, if you also permit me also, through 11, I may also want to refer, article 11 of the ROPC, which says, well, a lawyer. So if you read that article 11, you will see all the regulatory role NBA plays in the legal profession. Permit me also to read paragraph 12 or article 12 now of the same ROPC also says what? Sub-rule 2. A lawyer shall obtain an annual practicing certificate issued under this rule by the Nigeria Bar Association, certifying that he has fulfilled the approved continuing legal professional development program under this rule. Who issues you qualifies? I mean, who issues you annual practice certificate is NBA. There is no provision for nNBA. So on that point, they have missed it. Rule 3 says, a lawyer, unless he holds an annual practicing certificate issued by the Nigeria Bar Association, not by any other body, not by Ogbah and Murphy, not by Midwest Bar Forum, not by EBF, not by Arewa. Take note, NBA. Under this rule, shall not as a legal practitioner conduct or take part in any proceeding in any court, judicial tribunal, or panel or inquiry, sign any document, pleadings, affidavits, depositions, applications, name it all. So please, if you want to exit NBA, exit, but don't ever appear in any court. If not, the rules, the laws will catch up with you. So in all ramification world, while you can join any associations, we have so many statutory, so many court pronouncements showing the role of NBA in the regulation of law practice. We have several court judgments stating the fact that once you are called to the Nigerian bar, compulsorily, you are a member of NBA. So if you choose to resign, resign. But the implication will catch up with you tomorrow. I stop for now.
We thank you very much for your presentation. Let us appeal to those who are raising up their hand. The time to ask questions is coming, and then we will happily take your questions, and our guests will do justice to them. Barrister Ifeanyi Nrialike, please. What is your response to what our two learned friends have said, Mr. Daee Abubakar and Mr. Isaac Ogbah? How do you respond to their presentation?
Okay. Yes. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I will once more thank Elombah Television for inviting me to this very important discussion. The truth about it is that just like Barrister Ogbah said, Barrister Abubakar has been a little bit economical with the truth. The big question is, the new Nigerian Bar Association, is it necessary? I will answer in the negative. It is absolutely unnecessary. The formation of the new Nigerian Bar Association borders on tribal sentiment, religious insensitivity. We all know the reason why El-Rufai was disinvited. El-Rufai was disinvited as a result of the massacre that was going on in southern Kaduna, and he was not lifting a finger. So many times the southern Kadunas have cried out, and it is a matter that is elementary known to everybody that southern Kaduna are predominantly occupied by the Christians. And the El-Rufai has shown himself slightly not to be so accommodating of their sensibilities. So when Ikechukwu came up and he came to the general body of the Nigerian Bar Association, that El-Rufai was actually invited as one of the guest speakers. The members raised their voice in opposition. As a result of raising their voice in opposition, there was a next meeting that was held. It must be very, very symbolic in that next meeting, all the executives of the northern states of NBA were in attendance. Of all the members that voted on that, the only 3 persons were against the disinviting El-Rufai. The others voted in affirmative that El-Rufai should be disinvited. And going ahead with the popular vote, El-Rufai was disinvited. Immediately the El-Rufai was disinvited, the new Nigerian Bar Association was formed. And contrary to the insinuation that was being made by Barrister Abubakar, they clearly gave their reason for that particular formation, apart from the press conferences and so many other things. They clearly stated that the reason why they formed this is the formation of the new association has become imperative and experience, especially flowing from the activities, disposition, and most recently, the decision of the Nigerian Bar Association, which apparently failed to take into consideration our national interest and particularly do not promote the unity of our indissoluble country, Nigeria. In clear terms, they are saying the decision of the Nigerian Bar Association. This was after they have fought. What was that particular decision they were talking about? It was the decision of the Nigerian Bar Association to disinvite El-Rufai. It must be said that it it must be said that it is very, very unfortunate. Why is it very, very unfortunate? It is very, very unfortunate because when you look at the reason why they formed this new Nigerian Bar Association, it was not as a result of over 11 northern children that were out of school. It was not as a result of the massacre that was going on in several northern states. It was not as a result. It was for them to fight for an establishment man, not for the downtrodden. We know that Nigerian Bar Association ordinarily, it is even an aberration that you even invite a lawyer to come and address us. What is the going to tell us? I always speak against it. And it is even more tragic for you to invite police. The truth is that nNBA is the conscience of the nation. They owe it a duty. And we must agree that as a result of that invitation, there are certain things that have been happening in the Nigerian Bar Association. Ifeanyi all of a sudden woke up from his slumber and have been trying to do all the necessary things to make sure that peace returns to Kaduna and that people are allowed to live without being killed. If he has been doing as he has done for the past 1 week, I don't think he could have even been disinvited in the first place. I have to stop at this particular point to say that it is absolutely unnecessary. It is absolutely unnecessary forming a new Nigerian Bar Association, because even the conveners, they have not told us exactly what they did when they noticed this affection in the Nigerian Bar Association. Did they write to the Nigerian president of the Nigerian Bar Association stating exactly what are the grievances? Even if you lose an election, it's not enough for you to go and form a parallel body. The truth about it is that, as far as I'm concerned, this new Nigerian Bar Association is dead on arrival. It's just a discussion which we must do away with. But I feel that there is a need for them to be brought to order, discuss with them, know whatever that is their problem, their grievances, we address it. But they must show religious sensitivity. They must show, because majority of the complainants, the people that have been speaking, are people of a particular.
Okay, Barrister Nrialike, please. We thank you very much, and I want to say now, please, if it's possible to, I think we heard what you said, but there is some noises arising from your network, not from you, but from your network. So just to let you know that your network is not giving us the full service, which to enable us to hear everything you are saying very, very clearly. We are still at this point. We thank you very much for your presentation. It was very clear. We heard what you said. Well, in as much as we are not taking questions at this point, but Barrister Nuhu Ibrahim raised up his hand, and I am aware that Nuhu Ibrahim is one of the conveners of this new Nigeria Bar Association. So, Nuhu, are you able to speak at this point? Do you want us to hear from you?
Yes, I'm sorry that I am on transit, and presently I don't have enough light, but I hope you can hear my voice.
Yes, we are hearing your voice, even though you are in darkness.
Yeah. So whatever, I have followed the discussions, and thank you very much for the opportunity to tell the country and especially our colleagues the reasons why we decided to embark on this mission. You can term it rescue mission. The nNBA for a very long time has been under, you can say, government of a clique that who are self-serving. For a very long time, they haven't taken into consideration the interests of the definitely.
No, if you're hearing me, we are no longer hearing you now. I think it may assist if you turn off your video. Oh, he's gone entirely. All right, I think his network failed him. Let's wait for him to come back again. I think I'm seeing someone in this meeting that is not, I don't know who admitted him, X4IVXT. Please rename your device with your full name, X4IVXT. Rename your device with your full name. If you don't know how to do it, please type your device in the chat forum and we will help you to rename your device for you. All right, let's proceed. Barrister Mohammed Daee, you have had the contributions of our learned friends. What do you have to say with regard, because you told us clearly that the reason why you and your colleague decided to form the New Nigeria Bar Association have no relationship whatsoever with the decision of the Nigeria Bar Association to disinvite Governor Nasir El-Rufai, but it appears the two speakers that spoke after you disagreed. I also highlighted a letter here, which the letter you wrote to informing the Attorney General and Minister of Justice of your decision to form the New Nigeria Bar Association. Barrister Nrialike referred to paragraph 2 of that letter. He said, the formation of the new association have become imperative and expedient following the activities, disposition, and most recently, the decision of Nigeria Bar Association, NEC, which apparently failed to take into consideration our national interests and particularly do not promote the unity of our indissoluble country, Nigeria. Can you please tell us to what is this second paragraph referring to? What decision are you referring to here that made you to form this?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I proceed with that, I would like to comment on distinguished Barrister Ogbah, the first point he raised with respect to the role of professional conduct and the LPA. Now, it may interest you to know that, as you've said previously, LPA did not give birth to nNBA. LPA only mentioned nNBA by parole. Therefore, we affirm that nNBA, either we like it or not, is a creation, is an association like every other association in Nigeria. Therefore, so long or once you are called to the Nigeria Bar and you have your call-up number, either you like it or not, you've been given that certificate to practice law. Therefore, one cannot absolutely and outrightly confine any member to a compulsory belonging to a particular association. With all due respect to my learned friend, you refer back to section 40 of the Constitution. You know very well you have the right to join any association you deem it necessary to join. Therefore, you cannot, not even anybody, can confine someone to compulsorily belong to an association. We have several cases with respect of this. Therefore, you cannot confine us to compulsorily become members of nNBA. We have our call numbers. We'll be confirmed and we'll be certain that we are good to go to practice law in Nigeria. Therefore, nNBA cannot and will not stop us to practice law in Nigeria. With respect of you telling us we cannot go to court whatsoever, when we get here, we will cross it. Then with respect to my learned friend, sorry, I didn't get the name, my senior, I didn't get the name very correct. I am not holding brief for Malam Nasir El-Rufai. and I'm not a party to Malam Nasir El-Rufai. But what we are saying here, with respect to the second paragraph of our letter, what we are saying here, what has happened, has happened, and the decision is taken. And we affirm that the decision is final. But what you are saying here, for the NBA to come back after disinviting Malam Nasir El-Rufai, for NBA to come back requesting Mulan, requesting the Northern Forum to provide another candidate is not called for. You cannot take a decision, and according to you, you rely on the majority decision, and you are coming back to tell us or to tell the Northern people to give or to suggest a name of another person. That is to say, you play trick politics with the decision you've taken previously. Why did you ask the Christian Association to also produce a candidate? Why will you throw it back to the North to suggest another candidate in replacement of Malam Nasir El-Rufai? As I've stated earlier on, I'm not holding brief for Malam Nasir El-Rufai. You will agree with me, all the crisis that we are talking about is not only restricted to Kaduna State. Either you like it or not, we have crises all over the Federation. And the best way to resolve those crises is to listen, to hear from the player, the maker of such crises. It will be fair enough for NEC to invite El-Rufai, to listen to El-Rufai, to hear the other side of Malam Nasir El-Rufai before taking that decision. You recall vividly, the former emir of Kano State, Sunusi Lamido Sunusi, was in Kaduna. And he granted a press conference. And he said that it would be fair enough for NBA to allow El-Rufai to come and then bombard him with questions that they have. Because if you don't listen to him, why will you outrightly pass a judgment on him? This is the cheap politics that we are talking about. To us, some of us, we feel that no, this is not the right direction, and this is not the right decision to take. If you must hear from someone before you judge, you know very well, you must have to listen to both parties. It will be fair enough for you to listen to Malam Nasir El-Rufai, to hear his other side of the story, and not only listening to the media and the propagandas of the media.
Get the fuck away from me, you fucking nigger.
And pass outright judgment on Malam Nasir El-Rufai. To us, this is.
I think we are going to
the rule of law we preached about. This is not the interest of all we talked about. This is our grievances with respect to that last decision taken recently by the NEC. So we are not for El-Rufai. We are not holding for him. But this is our as members of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Okay, thank you very much. I thought I had a distraction, and I wanted to say, please, if we have a distraction, we have announced before, maybe before some of our guests logged in.
The fuck on, niggers.
We have to turn this thing off, and then you come back immediately. I don't know, maybe someone logged in. I don't know how he passed our security checks, but we are removing anyone we are not able to identify. So if for any reason we have a disturbance, we will stop this and come back immediately. So, but so far so good. I think it's been very minimal. Barrister Isaac Ogbah, please. You have had the response of Barrister Abubakar. Do you have any response to make with regards to his letter? Although, sorry, please. I think there was. Okay, the hand is down now. All right, come in, Isaac. Please go ahead. Isaac, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. As lawyers, we don't only talk facts, we talk law. I will refer Abubakar to the case of BA versus Kehinde 2017 11 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 1576. I will equally refer him to the case of Shiwo versus Wonder 2008, 3 Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 1074. When the court made, I will quote the court precisely, it says, the appellant was not compelled to take up the profession of law and is attended compulsory membership of the Nigeria Bar Association, underline. Emphasis.
Oh, niggers.
However,
Thank you, burning hell.
However, once he made the choice to study law and practice law, and thereby placing his name on the roll of honor of belonging to the profession, he stands bound by the internal rules and regulations of the association. There would therefore be no choice of a breach of the constitution of the country if rules demands of him undivided loyalty. Undivided loyalty. His actions in trying to break away and form nNBA is a divided loyalty, which is even punishable for professional misconduct, number one. Number two, he has also been economical with the truth in not being able to respond to that paragraph 2 of their letter they wrote to the AG Federation. First and foremost, I'm a member of NEC. I was in NEC. NBA did not unilaterally take a decision. It was open for discussion, which lasted for close to an hour. Several members of NEC, we have 125 branches of NBA, in which 3 members are automatically members of NEC, the chairman, the secretary, and the NEC rep, aside other adopted NEC members. Several branches spoke. Several chairmen spoke. Even the chairman of Kaduna, the chairman of Sokoto, if I'm not mistaken, also spoke. Either for or against. NEC is not a decision in which the president decides. It is the members of NEC that decides what they want. And overwhelming support. About only 3 people spoke against it. Others spoke against El-Rufai speaking at NEC. And therefore, the president has no option than to balk. Number 2, let's start from where this issue of forming other association came from. Before the last conducted NBA, everyone is aware that Falana pitched his tent with daily additional SAN. Everybody is aware of Akitola SAN pitching tent with daily additional. And several other people pitching tent with either Ajibade or Akpata. It was when Olumide Akpata won the election that the drum beat of another association started coming up. And with due respect to the senior advocates who were speaking for supporting factional association, if their candidates had won, will Falana be singing his song today? If Dele Additional had won, will Akitola SAN be singing his song today? The answer is no. If Malam El-Rufai had been invited to speak at the next at the just AGM of AGC of NBA, will Mohammed Abubakar be speaking the language today? The answer would be no. Let me take you back to memory lane. In 2008, Maurice Iwu was initially invited by NBA to speak at the 2008 conference. But based on the protest of members of the NBA, in view of the shoddy way and manner that 2007 election was conducted, NBA in its wisdom disinvited him. Did you hear Eastern Nigerian Bar Association being formed? The answer is no. What were the reasons that these people were given prior to this time? That Wike is invited, that Obasanjo is invited, that if El-Rufai should be disinvited, both Wike and Obasanjo should be given similar treatment. The question is this: Wike is a lawyer, number 1. Wike is a bencher, a live bencher, for that matter also. Can you disinvite him? The answer is no. And number two, who disinvited them? It was NEC. NEC meets quarterly. And issues to be discussed at NEC are given in advance before anybody. Before the NEC meeting, every member attending NEC knew on the agenda the issue of El-Rufai was listed there in view of the petitions written against him to NEC. Did Abubakar write any petition against Obasanjo? Did you and your group write petition against Wike? The answer is no. So if there were no such petitions against Obasanjo, OBJ, and against Wike, let the truth be told. Paul Usoro, because he was talking about this issue of management of nNBA funds as one of the problems. Paul Usoro inherited over 550 million that debt.
I think his network is frozen now. I think Isaac's network is frozen. If it is, Barrister Nrialike, please, if you can, please unmute yourself. Ifeanyi.
Hello?
Yeah, are you still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
You are suddenly in the dark.
Okay.
Let me ask this
Am
question.
I back?
Yeah, let me ask this question.
Am I back now?
Yes, you are back, Ifeanyi. Let me ask this question.
Yes.
Without going into the reasons why this new Nigeria Bar Association is formed, is it necessarily wrong to have the Nigeria Bar Association decentralized? Is it anything wrong to have regional bar associations, even regional legal system, to cater for the peculiar characteristics of each part of the country? What do you have to say to that?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dan. I think that we, as it is now, we have the mechanism that is taking care of our different needs at the regional level. We have the Eastern Bar Association, we have the Ogbah Amofun, we have the Midwest Bar, we have the Midwest Bar that is part of the Western Bar, we have the Arewa Bar or the Northern Bar. And apart from it, we have various Nigerian Bars Association for each branch. So in some states, you have up to 2 or 3 branches. In some others, you have 5. Like in the city Abuja here, we have 3 branches of the Nigerian Bar Association. They are taking care of the immediate needs of the members within their branch. And it may not be practicable as it is now for us to have regional branches that are independent of the national because of the system of government we operate. Since we are having a federal system of government, that federal system of government has made it imperative that every other association that we have move in the same direction. Assuming there are no federal system of government where authority flows from above down, we can say, okay, there is the need for us to have as we have the 6 geopolitical zones, for us to have South Bar Association, Southeast Bar Association, North Central Bar Association, Northeast Bar Association, Northwest Bar Association, or Southwest Bar Association. But for now, it is not practicable. But whatever branches we have on ground can take care of the Nigerian Bar Association. But I must say something. The formation of this new Nigerian Bar Association is equally a wake-up call to the Nigerian Bar Association. You know, before now, way back, I think in 1991 or 92 or thereabout, there was a crisis, very big crisis at the Port Harcourt Convention. And eventually, after a while, the Nigerian Bar Association came back stronger. But in the late 2000s, from 2016, impunity started creeping in again when universal suffrage was introduced into the Nigerian Bar Association. There were disaffections about the manner of conducting of vote election. Diakekazama lost and went to court. And the funny thing is that it was at the tail end of the administration of Mahmoud SAN that decision was given in Diakekazama, and there was no justice for him. Granted that he lost that particular case. And in 2018, we all know what happened. Master Famosi was arbitrarily disqualified. That disqualification was the time they could have even formed the parallel bar. Assuming Master Famosi was that type of person, I knew the pressure that we were on him to go and form a parallel bar or to be part of the convenance of the parallel bar. But he resisted it. At that particular time, the thing that would happen at that particular time was a catalyst that led to this particular decision of these people, because immediately it started happening, people started mooting the idea of having a different, that there is need to unbundle the Nigerian Bar Association. And that as a result of the unbundling of the Nigerian Bar Association, some of the ills will be checked. But the unfortunate thing about the new Nigerian Bar Association is that they did not, their formation was not as a result of well thought out issues. It was a reactionary movement that brought about the formation of the new Nigerian Bar Association. That is the invitation of El-Rufai. Assuming they are clearly saying, look what has happened, stating clearly in clear terms their disaffections about whatever they feel. Then on the basis of that, you can now say, okay, they are making genuine complaints. And as a result of that, we can now look into the complaint. But no, we knew that people that were vocal about the dissemination of self-harm were a particular group. And that was why the new Nigerian Bar Association is being looked at with some degree of suspicion. And the truth about it is that it is not healthy for us at this particular time. If there is going to be formation of the Nigerian Bar Association at regional level or association of lawyers at regional level, it will be on the basis of decision that will be taken in overall interest of the national unity of Nigeria, in the overall interest of progress of Nigeria, not necessarily because a particular person feels aggrieved by the decision of the NEC at this particular time. That is the quarrel, and that is a very big quarrel and a very sensitive one. We should not allow it to destroy the bar. Just like Mr. Ogbah said, if you are saying that you are no longer a member of the Nigerian Bar Association, Barrister Abubakar has not written his letter of resignation from Nigerian Bar Association. The conveners have not written their letter of resignation from the Nigerian Bar Association. And they still there. And I know, like Barrister Abubakar and all the other practicing lawyers, that anytime they want to file a process, since they formed the new Nigerian Bar Association, they still use the sales issued to them by the Nigerian Bar Association. They are still members of the Nigerian Bar Association. They have not told us that they are no longer members of the Nigerian, because it's not something you can do without. And again, Section 40 of the Constitution which they have cited is clearly not so applicable in this instance. In as much as Section 40 states there is a freedom of association, you can form, just like we stated, there is the Nigerian Eastern Bar, Arewa Bar, and the Western Bar, Midwestern Bar. But the truth about it is that the Nigerian Bar Association is an association that is recognized as the regulatory body for lawyers. And its existence is noted statutorily in not only the rules of professional conduct, even every place. So it cannot be
all right
at this particular time advisable for this Nigerian Bar Association to continue to be in existence. I will advise that whatever is their grievances can be handled by this new administration of the Nigerian Bar Association. Let you make that better.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we thank you very much for your contributions. We will still allow the other two guests to respond to this, my question about decentralization of the Nigeria Bar Association. But let's hear from Barrister Baniko Hebu, please. What can you unmute yourself and ask your question or make a comment?
Okay, I think I must first of all thank you, Barrister Elombah, for this program. And I've listened to the lawyers speaking their big grammar, which they are known for. But watching from the sideline, I've got two questions I want to ask the image maker of the new Bar Association. I watched him on the AIT program, and he emphasized a lot on this invitation of Malam El-Rufai. But if they have now looked at that reason and probably decided that it will not be part of the reasons to advance for their breakup, I still want to ask him a question on that. Assuming without considering that that the disinvitation of El-Rufai is not one of their reasons for trying to break away from the Nigerian Bar Association, does he believe that the reasons advanced by the people who protested against the invitation of El-Rufai, for instance, they mentioned non-obeying court orders and then not managing or seem to not managing the crisis in Southern Kaduna. In his view, does he think that those reasons are not enough for a professional body like nNBA to have a rethink over the invitation of El-Rufai? That is the first question. The second question is this. He has said a lot about the right to belong to an association and probably have a review of where you belong to and all that. What is his view about the organizations like IPOB and other organizations that are fighting for self-determination? Does he believe that those people have the right, if they believe that Nigeria as a state is too big, that they could have their own separate state? Or probably most of the powers at the center being centralized? I want him to respond to that. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Right, we thank you very much for your questions. Barrister Mohammed Daee, please. Our time is running off now, so we have only 6 minutes remaining or so. So let's remit our comments now to very few minutes, and so that we'll round up. Thank you. Yes, please unmute yourself.
Thank you very much. To quickly respond to the first point he raised, we've previously ascertained that the nNBA is for all and is for the interest of all. And it is not within the power of few to determine what happened to the majority. Our emphasis here with respect to still the issue of Malam El-Rufai raised. You agree with me that that particular process that gave birth to this invitation, as far as the NBA is concerned, is framing the amber of hatred by pitching one section of its member against the other. Consequently, the larger society at this very critical era or stage. Now, what I've said earlier on with respect to that, I cannot go out to apologize for not committing any error. I cannot apologize to anybody not committing any error. I asked a question previously, which I'm yet to get an answer to. Why calling the Ariwa to suggest another person? It's demeaning to the Ariwas, if I may use that word. And why did you call on others if you don't have anything behind, and if you don't have anything, so to say, and as you've said it, that is clearly on what is happening in Saudi Kaduna. If you don't have any other, why will you apologize to the public? You all know about the apology. And you should have suggested to the Ariwas to bring or to key in another person. To me, we shouldn't play cheap politics with this issue. We know where the truth lies, and it is within our to accept it. It is within the truth. To us, as I earlier said, we are not holding brief for Erufai. That should be a topic of his own. That should be a discussion of his own.
All right. We thank you very much. I take it that you've made your submissions. We will be calling on next Ms. Barrister Isaac Ogbah to respond to some of the issues. But before we do that, Isaac, please allow me to. Mohammed Daee, I hope you have finished your contribution. Did I interrupt you? Muhammad? Oh, is he frozen?
No.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Isaac, please, before you make your contributions, we are now rounding up. Let's take these two questions and then you incorporate it into whatever you are going to say, please. So let's call on Ikechukwu, please, and then Okafatu. If you will both unmute yourself. Let's take Ikechukwu, please. First of all, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but I've been following the contributions, the comments. I actually have one question for Barrister Abubakar. I'll have to digress a little bit from the legal profession regarding the formation of the nNBA. I want to ask Barrister Abubakar, let's assume that the decision that led to the formation of nNBA is not related to the issue of Governor Malam Nasir El-Rufai. What if that event was organized by Nigerian Medical Association that had the constitutional right to regulate the medical practitioner in Nigeria, and somebody was invited from a particular section of the country, and due to the petition written against the person, and the person was disinvited, will the state bodies of Nigerian Medical Association go ahead to form another body for medical association, Nigerian Medical Association, not minding the national body of NNA that they have? That's my question to Barrister Abubakar.
All right, Isaac, can you wait for Abubakar to respond to these question. Just very briefly, please, Abubakar, very briefly.
Thank you very much for your question. And I love the way you made your summation that medical practitioner. That is why we are not medical practitioners and we are legal practitioners. Therefore, what may happen or what will happen within the fold of the medical practitioners field and maybe a party refuses to take decision, and maybe they've been needed urgent attention, and they felt that, okay, the decision is very okay, and the decision is good, and they let it go, fine, that is for them. But as for we here, we
all right. Your network is not your friend today.
are not challenging, please. Let's get it straightforward. We are not the supreme. And what about, madam? What we are preaching about is not to incite one segment of the region to another. We should be fair, and we should be straightforward, and we should put the public interest into consideration, not regionalizing the NBA discussion, NBA rulings, and NBA decisions. So we are not against the decision, and we can never be medical practitioners. Thank you very much for your question.
All right, thank you. Isaac, before you come in, let's take off At-tatbiq, then you, so that we wouldn't, our time is running now. Barrister At-tatbiq, please. Are you able to unmute yourself? Barrister At-tatbiq, are you able to unmute yourself?
Hello, yeah, I'm with you. Very well, very well. Okay. Sorry, thank you so much for the opportunity. I want to direct this to Mohammed Abubakar. You know, there were three key questions that were asked the presenter initially as to one, you know, why the creation of the nNBA. Of course, he said it was reasons to manage that, you know, NBA was now too small to manage its members. And secondly, the second question was as to whether it was as a result of this invitation of El-Rufai. He said no, it wasn't the reason for that formation, rather that it was because, you know, they really need to put things right. And thirdly, it was asked whether the structure, you know, cut across all regions. He said, yes, of course, you know, it's not a northern thing, neither is it in a group that are based on section. Now, going down the discussions, I found out that clearly, the reasons for the formation has actually shifted. I want him to situate the reason very well, that the reason is not actually for formation or manage the members, rather is because of the issues that border on the disinvitation of El-Rufai. And let not act like the ostrich and try to hide, you know, bury the head in the sand, thing that we have actually hidden. No. We are lawyers. Let's be very forthright in our position, and that will help. Now, I want to ask this question. Having posited this, do you have any plan as to trying to present a bill for amendment of the extant laws? Because I listened to Isaac Ogbah. Clearly, we are lawyers, and the position of the law is quite clear. Whether you could advance this position rightly in this contest without amending or trying to repeal the existing laws, knowing very well that as lawyers, before you can practice or carry out real practice, particularly in courts in Nigeria as at today, MBA must have an endorsement on the processes that will be filed in courts. Well, I've had arguments as to whether, you know, for instance, trying to say ICANN, ANAN, and all that are part of the reasons why we could, you know, cannibalize MBA and, you know, balkanize it such that you have. But I think, you know, for ANAN, ICANN, these are people who they certify accountants. But here, we are already lawyers before you now belong to association. So I don't think it really it could be fitted into such explanation. Well, Abubakar equally said that MBA activities, you know, such had been hijacked. Well, I think it's a mispresentation, my own position, because over the years. We know nNBA has some issues, like Ifeanyi Nrialike pointed out in 1992 and all that, which has been put right. Yes, but these things are not part of the reasons why we should now disintegrate nNBA, and we think it is going to do any good to lawyers in Nigeria. There was something Abubakar said, which I so much align myself. Does Abubakar and his group think that the way we are in Nigeria today, the issue of IPOB that's being raised here and there, and we say no, these are people who really want to establish their self-determination for reasons because they think Nigeria as a group, we're not actually doing well to remain in the same entity. Now, nNBA finds it very easy, or rather, the nNBA finds it very comfortable in this situation to have such things to, remain. My own position is that I don't think these are things that will do any good to the profession, which we have labored so much to uphold its integrity. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, Muhammad, in as much as the question is directed at you, we've been keeping Isaac waiting for a long time. So let's please, Isaac, answer the question and then use it to make a concluding comments before we allow other people to, because we may not be able to call you again.
I will be brief.
Okay.
First and foremost, in 2 years' time, Arewa section of the nNBA, the Northern Group, will be producing the next nNBA president. Abubakar and his group, hope you succeed in breaking out from nNBA. And let's see if the North will present a candidate in 2 years from now. Secondly, he who lives in a glass house should not throw stones. Unfortunately, I have been part of NEC and I have seen the way and manner in which decisions in NEC is being politicized, regionalized, tribalized. When Onoge was unceremoniously removed by the present government and NEC took a position, the same northern branches of nNBA stood firmly to oppose NEC and his decision. NEC took a position to boycott court for some days. The same northern groups stood against it. Let's wait also when in 2 years' time, we have a northern president of nNBA. And let's see if all these things happening right now will happen. Please, a question.
Nigeria. I don't know why whenever Isaac is about to make a very salient point, his network tends to disappoint him. All right, Isaac, while we wait for your network to come back, let's, Adam Muhammad, please. You raised up your hand. We really want to hear from you. Adam Muhammad, you raised up your hand initially. Are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel.
Yes.
Yeah. You see, what I want to say here tonight should be taken to the banks. For me, I feel as lawyers, we must, of utmost responsibility, mind our words. And the manner at which we talk to ourselves matter a lot. We all know, and I said it yesterday and I reiterate it today again. We are free to do whatever we feel we want to do as professionals for your actions. I find no reason why we threaten, we are untoward in our words with our fellow, with our colleagues. It makes no good sense. You continue arguing anything and everything from now to thy kingdom come and things will be happening. Who said never would always see someone do it? So please, let us not dare the man. We know we have issues, but we are calling for reconciliations. We want to reconcile whatever differences we may have, whatever issue nNBA has. nNBA is never the first. Now was never the first. It will never be the last. So, but if a group of persons decides to form their own association or what have you, different from, it's a professional body. It is not the country, as he brought in iPod to compare. That's not correct at all. Let's be very conciliatory in our speaking, not threatening, blackmailing. It won't help anyone. I'm telling you the truth. You know, we all know, without gainsaying, without being hypocritical, that there are so many issues. And for me, I have confidence in the president, Olumide. I know he's going to do wonders for NBA. I know him personally. I know his capability. I know his track records. Yes, he's not one of those people that have held NBA so down, that politicize NBA. So please, let's mind whatever we're saying. We all know the politics there, which is not good for anyone. We've politicized NBA. It was never supposed to be. So we've all had that. There are so many precedents out there for us to follow. So please, if we want to be together, let's be together in with the ethos of the profession binding us, not for nothing, not for anything's sake. I'm not telling anyone they can't do this. Is not no. When it will be done, that person will just be moping. So please, let's not go there. Thank you so very much again. Thank you so much.
We thank you very much for being with us again, even though you were here yesterday when we were having this same discussion. Thank you very much for being in our midst again tonight. And thanks for a very nice presentation. Moshood Gbadamosi, please, are you able to unmute yourself? We are coming to the, after this question, we'll take the final comment from our three guests. Moshood Gbadamosi, please, are you able to unmute yourself? And then Emmanuel, will get ready, please. Very, very brief comments. Let's round up. Moshood Gbadamosi, are you still with us? You are raising your hand. Moshood? No? Emmanuel, Ewere, please.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Daniel, once again. I want to raise this very good observation to Mr. Abubakar, to let him know that he has not made any comment in respect to the whole initiative behind the new NBA is because they are bluffing. It's something that can never happen, or they are trying to actually create their own fame out of it. They are bluffing about everything. It will never be a reality. Well, they have made their name so far with all the whole activities happening, but NBA can never take them serious. And the North should always know this, that in as much as they keep disrupting the activities of the NBA, what goes around will come around. They did this to Usoros administration, Apata's administration. They should know that the next turn, they will hold the baton. So let us see if they will revolt against their own person. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel.
We thank you very much. All right, our three guests, thank you to Barrister Emmanuel Ewere for your contribution, and thank you for being in our midst again tonight. So, Moshood Gbadamosi, are you now able to unmute yourself before we take our final comments from our guests? Moshood, you are back. Right, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. I just want to react to what Mr. Okafor said as regard comparing MBA with Nigerian Medical Association also. I've listened to several arguments. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I think it's Mr. Ikechukwu that mentioned the Nigerian Ikechukwu that talked about the Nigerian Medical Association, but go ahead, make your point.
Yes. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, we are hearing you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, yes. Every lawyer in Nigeria
Yes, upon being called to bar, nobody was called to Nigerian Bar Association. Nigerian Bar Association is a registered association. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So, and as such, and by virtue of Section 40, there are several arguments from every here and there. So there is freedom of association. But unfortunately, I will not oppose anyone that wants to, whether for any reason, wants to form any association. But I'm of the view that monopolization of everything always leads to dichotomy.
So,
just as we are having.
I'm sorry, Moshe. So, let me get this straight from you. Do you support the decentralization of the Nigeria Bar Association?
No, not really. Not really. I would have loved that we maintain NBA as it is, but NBA needs serious reform. So you just need. I'm of the view that we should. There are some things that we need to put in place. The way things are being done is not right at all. So, for instance, apart from what happened, Erufai or no Erufai, the way NBA is being run, I personally have issues with it. But as regards formation of new association, I would have loved that all hands will be on deck. And then I believe that we have new president now, in the person of Mr. Olumide, that he should just call on everybody, that look at the problem. What exactly is the problem? Then he should just tackle it. So otherwise, the formation of other association is imminent, really, if care is not taken. And then it might not be all go well for the profession. So may God help us all.
All right.
That's just my take.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your nice contribution. Let's take the final comment from our three guests. Let's start again from, we started from Mohammed. Let's start from Ifeanyi this time. Your final contribution to this gathering.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I will say that just like we've all tried one word or the other to say, I will summarize by saying that there is need for reconciliation. Mr. Abubakar Mohammed, this country, we are brothers. I will call on Olumide to reach out to the new Nigerian Bar Association and see to it that whatever is the problem is nipped in the bud. And the good thing about it is that he's starting on a clean slate. Just like the lady that spoke, this is not something that can be muzzled away. I know of the crisis we are having in Unity Bar, that is Nigerian Bar Association Abuja chapter. It just started like play, and it is polarizing the association here in FCT. So there is need for us to put hands on deck. We have so much that is bothering nNBA. Currently, as it is now, many lawyers are losing jobs. We know that there are so many lawyers that are getting their bail living from Corporate Affairs Commission. But presently, the way Corporate Affairs Commission is being run, lawyers are losing their services. We should be concerned so much about the welfare of lawyers. The long lawyers who usually talk to Corporate Affairs Commission should be encouraged to make their living. Nigerian Bar Association should look into it. I equally believe that other aspects of our life that have been, because Nigeria as it is presently, there is so much division. That is the reason why the Nigerian Bar Association will just spring up like that. There is so much intolerance. Whenever any decision is taken, certain persons will look at it. Is it done by my own person? Is it done against my own person? For as long as we continue to think like that, we may not be able to get it right. We still see the problems that are been coming up left, right, and center in Nigeria as a whole. Let us not allow it to come into Nigeria Bar Association. The one we have is enough. We must try as much as possible to create immunity against all these policies in the Nigeria Bar Association. We must come together. Abubakar and his group, with the Barrister group, and everybody that have formed that group, there is need for us to come together. Just like Ogbah stated, in the next 2 years, it will be the turn of Arewa to produce their own president. Do they want this type of opposition from Modern Jones? The answer is no. And frankly, too. And the funny thing is that the present crisis that started with Ghana, because the election that brought in president was questioned. Everybody cried foul. The way it was, more majority, some president cried foul. And at the end of the day, they moved to South to Eastern.
Around the top
and we saw the local and they people cried foul. And now I know that there should be an end what we should start the word. And at the end of the day, let us find a solution. The electoral reform as produced by the president should be what the people seriously, because once we have it, the majority of the problems should go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We thank you. We thank you. Abubakar, please. Can you give us your final comments?
Thank you very much. I so much align myself with the summation of my very senior, first senior, that is Ifeanyi Nrialike. In fact, he had made my day by profiling such a submission. I so much align myself with that. But one thing is very clear, and I want to correct that notion. Please, I don't want it to go further that the northern lawyers want to form their forum. Please and please, we are saying the nNBA is not and will not be a northern agenda. Please, I want to correct that notion. It's not another agenda, and we devote ourselves from calling it northern agenda. We didn't refer it as such, and therefore nobody should hold it for us to refer to it as another agenda. Thank you very much.
We thank you. We thank you very much. Isaac, can you unmute yourself, please?
In summary, I will refer us to the major 10 cardinal points presentation that was given by Olumide Akpata in his inaugural speech. Number 1 talks about the unity of the bar.
You have seen this one. This one for that. Me, I use life mode.
I don't know, I say it again. Whenever Isaac wants to make a very important point, he stated.
And the Bible says in
Isaac, are you back? Are you finally off? I think he finally dropped off. Okay. Okay, he's back. Isaac, are you back? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I said, let's give Olumide Akpata the chance. He has given us his points and his agenda. And with all these problems we are talking about in the bar today, I believe if given this chance, he will rectify majority of them. And in 2 years' time, whenever he stops, the next will take over. Once more, one united bar, one NBA, no new NBA, no other body. We know we have Chartered Institution of Arbitrators, we have ICMC, we have other, the way we have this. In all these, we still have one bar. We have African bar, we have Palu. We belong to all this. That does not remove us from NBA. So if you want to go and join new NBA, you are still a member of NBA. At Ogbah Murphy, you are still part of NBA. Midwest Bar, you are part of NBA. Easter Bar, they are still part of nNBA. Arewa, a part of nNBA. In all, unity, one purpose, one bar. Thank you very much.
We thank you very much. Let me add this final quick before you go. Is it the situation that once a Nigerian studies law, goes to law school, and is called to the Nigerian bar, upon being enrolled in the Supreme Court of Nigeria, he automatically becomes a member of the Nigeria Bar Association? Is that the case?
There is a court pronouncement to that effect. And until that court judgment is set aside, it remains the law. We are all students of jurisprudence, and we are all slaves to precedents. Until that pronouncement as it regards to Nigeria Bar Association, that once you are called to the bar by nomenclature, by right, whatever is called this word, you are automatically a member of the bar. Until that judgment is set aside, there is nothing you and I can say or do about it. That does not stop you from joining any other association, but you are still a member of the bar. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our guests tonight, Barrister Mohammed Daee Abubakar, Barrister Ifeanyi Nrialike, Barrister Isaac Ogbah, Barrister Boniko Hebu, Mohammed Adama, all the lawyers who spoke tonight. We thank all of you for joining us in Elombah Television, and we look forward to having you again next time. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
very much.
Rich colleagues, let's continue to be one brothers.
Yes, let's continue.
Thank you. Bye.
That is the spirit. Let's be one. Let's have one language. Unity in diversity.